Things that ought not be discussed. I was sitting here thinking about a number. A number that we all have, but a number we probably don't want to discuss. It's a number I'll affectionately refer to as the cocksucking number. Oftentimes, when I'm in financial hardship, it seems people often ask the question how you are when they ought not ask you how you are. At the precise moment, they should not ask you how you are, because you're usually at a place where you're going, ask it again, nice and slowly. But then you compose yourself and just say, well, you know, if things don't improve soon, I'm going to be blowing truckers. Yeah. And I thought that was really funny and cute until I had a dream about it one night. So I stopped saying that. Stop saying it right quickly. But a cocksucking number, I would say, is the point of desperation. It doesn't have to be a cocksucking. It could be working at McDonald's. It could be working fast food again when you swore you never would. It can be a fucking lemonade stand on your front porch. It could be selling Girl Scout cookies. It could be couponing to get lots of stuff and then selling it out of your garage. It is your point of desperation. Let's call it that. Cocksucking point sounds so much nicer. A CSP. We'll call it the convergence of survival point. See, that's a nice way. And you got the dirty way if you want to share that. For me, it was, and still is, whenever I start to break down a little bit, when I start to have a nervous breakdown, that's when I start talking about things we ought not discuss. See, it's funny because when you think about things we ought not discuss, hashtag things we ought not discuss, I don't know about you, but my mind races to things that are dirty. You know, things that are sexy or naughty or, you know, ooh la la. Drawing this, by the way, kind of a departure from my normal stuff. Bringing you art updates because I love yous, people. I love yous. But the convergence survival point for me is and always has been when I start to lose the plot. When I get to the point where things just don't make sense on a regular basis, really don't make sense. And I get to the point where I'm like, you know, this is that part in CSI where they say, oh, well, he had a very tough life and seemed to be blaming all those around me, but it wasn't until that stressing factor, that stressing point. and then Agent Hobbs will look at Agent Mulder or Fox. I forget which one of the names. Gabriel, look and go, that's when he started killing hookers? Yes, that's when he started killing hookers. Yeah. See, that is for me time to recognize my CSP. Because at this point, I'm really sitting here going, you know what? I'm eating shit every day. I'd much rather suck a dick than eat shit, which is a terrible thing. And you think, well, that's awful. We ought not talk about that. We ought not talk about stuff like that. Well, how about the fact that I've been thinking about walking into traffic? Huh? Can we talk about that? Yeah. See, that's not so funny anymore. See, cocksucking, well, that seems dirty. That seems, you know, Sean, don't talk about stuff like that. How dare you talk about fellatio? That's dirty. Well, let's talk about suicide. You want to talk about that? How's that feel? Is it cleaner? I'm disenchanted with many aspects of my legacy, philosophical legacy, disappointed in many regards. And when you become disappointed in many regards of your philosophical legacy, you tend to question a lot. You tend to buck against the fences. You start to rattle the cage and start to go, hey, why is this cage here? It's to keep me from what exactly? Don't put your hand in the fire. Why? Ow, burned. I've been burned. I understand. Don't put your hand in the fire. Would my life have been easier if I had never been burned? Well, I guess so. But now I don't truly have to wonder anymore. Well, see, that's what happens when you ask questions, you get burned. Well, yeah. But even understanding that I got burned, I was working on a lawnmower the other day. My brother had just been running it for a few minutes, so it was nice and hot. Duh, I didn't think about it. I go to put my hand down to sop up some liquid to see if it's leaking or not. And of course I touch the exhaust pipe for half of a second. So I've got this nice burn across there. And I even knew. Not only did I have authoritarian wisdom saying, no, stay away from that, but I had personal knowledge saying stay away from that, and it still happened. So then how do you clarify that? Is that a cage? Is that nature's cage? Do we set up a cage inside of nature's cage to keep us safe, to keep us warm, to keep us protected? There's a lot of discussion of political correctness and, what you should say and what you shouldn't say. And arguments are really long dances. So don't get into an argument unless you look across that argument floor and you see a really attractive argument partner. Like, I have a friend, Major, and I love her to pieces. If she wasn't so cute, I don't think we'd be friends, because she puts me through a lot of shit. And I love her dearly. And she's really good for me, but she's an irritating piece of sand. And yeah, she's adorable. And yeah, it doesn't hurt that she's easy on the eyes. But what I appreciate about her and makes her a good sparring partner is that she'll basically tell me to fuck off. She says it very politely, because she doesn't use such common language. Now, I have another friend, Allie, who will tell me to go fuck off. Yeah, she's a good sparring partner, too. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I have a lot of very violent femmes in my life. I'm blessed. She's not, though. April's very gentle. This one, though. Oh, mismatch. Oh, she will cut you. Oh, bitch, she will cut you. She look all cute and sweet, and she's all smiles, but she will slice you. This one will, too, but she's like, she'll give you, 3 chances. She'll give you half a chance. She'll give you, maybe a chance and a half. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I don't know much about her. She seems nice. But I got a lot of violent females in my life. Well, I don't think it's just violent females. I think I got a lot of violent people in my life. Maybe it's just I got people in my life, and they all have the capacity for violence. And just a quick side note here. I think it's amazing how our tendency is to always create these one-dimensional characters of everyone. What are we going to do with the illegal immigrants? It's like, you ever think, what does an illegal immigrant eat for breakfast? What do they have for lunch? Do you think illegal immigrants like to play video games? Do you think illegal immigrants like to play Candy Crush in between their rapings and killings? I always wonder, do communists still take a shit? Or does it just ooze out of them? I mean, what do pedophiles eat for lunch? You ever think about that? You ever think about the fact that we tend to put everybody in a one dimension, by their worst behavior. Really. Doesn't matter what you do in life, the worst thing that you do becomes the dimension by which we judge you against all others. Like Jared lost a lot of weight. And in that regard, I am very proud of Jared Fogle for losing a lot of weight. Jared Fogle also liked to have sex with very young women, underage women. 17, I think, was whatever. And of course he had pictures of much younger, so I don't understand. I don't understand that part. But I don't think we're meant to understand that part. I think this is clearly a deviation. You know, when you start thinking about pedophilia, you say, okay, why is it so harmful? Why is it so harmful? I believe it's harmful because it creates the reward reinforcement scenario in a sexual manner. It fosters this worldview that everything can be understood through sex. Now, there is much to be understood through physical contact, but it doesn't always have to be sex. It doesn't have to be sex as a reward system. It doesn't have to be sex as a confidence system. You know, think about the parents that are physically contacting their children. You go everything from a high five, which is very benign and innocuous, to, you know, naked shower time, which is not very innocuous and can be very confusing for a child. And here you're trying to engage with another being that really doesn't understand what they're doing. And if they do, even if they do, it's good to wait until they arrive at their own questions, you know. I mean, puberty is going to be as confusing as you remember it to be, but to, you know, introduce that intense sexualization prior to puberty, at least in my understanding, is it's very prejudicial. It creates within the person a certain perspective that's hard to look past. It's similar to spoiling a child or beating a child. You know, to give a child everything they want is going to give them a very slanted view of the world. It's going to give them a perspective that will be hard to depart from. If they are rewarded for everything they do, they won't understand what it is to do something for no reward, which there is still value in, because it helps you understand the world. When you look at the life of Buddha, he was born Siddhartha. As the story goes, his father hid from him all the old and sick people. So Buddha never grew up understanding anyone was sick or old, you know. So, you know, not to depart too far from pedophilia, but, you know, the reason that's so harmful to someone is that it creates in them a worldview that this is how the world operates. And that's, you know, every relationship you're going to have with a person in your life is not going to be sexual. And it's not going to mean anything less because it's not sexual. And that's a really hard thing to do in our society, is understand the value of platonic relationships. And that's what a parent can really teach a child, is the value of that platonic relationship. For a parent to have sexual relationships with a child, or an adult to have sexual relationships with a child, is to, you know, reduce us to our most primitive nature. You know, everybody's going to understand sex. Everybody's going to have a sexual drive. Everyone's going to have hormones. They're going to go through puberty. You know, allow the being to get there so they can understand the natural, primitive impulses. But as a parent, you know, having a relationship with a child, or an adult having a relationship with a child, you have the opportunity to show them this enlightened and very difficult relationship that you only derive pleasure from each other's intellectual honesty. You can talk about anything. And yes, we can have physical contact, but there is a limit to our physical contact. Let's not explore that realm of purely pleasure-driven physical contact, but rather let us relate on an intellectual basis. Let us challenge our minds. Let us grow in that regard. Let me show you what Plato pioneered with supposed platonic relationship. Now, granted, whether he was platonic in all of his relationships probably remains to be seen, and I doubt it was. But it is possible for you to have relationships in your life that are not physical at all. I mean, I have friends that I've met online that I may never meet in person. I may never shake their hand or give them a hug. And I certainly won't have sex with most of them. I know, and it's depressing because I have a lot of cute friends. Yeah. Just can't have sex with everybody. That was a great line. I forget the porn star who said it. This was probably 5-10 years ago. They were making a mold of her vagina or her vulva. They were going to make a sex toy out of her. And she sat there and she was giggling, you know, and they're holding her like a sacrificial lamb, just holding it wide open there. And they're pouring the silicone into her lady canal. And she looks at the camera and she's laughing because it's cold. She's like, oh, that's so cold. Oh my goodness. And they're like, so are you excited about doing this? She's like, oh my goodness, yes. You know, it's not like the old days when I can go out and have sex with all my fans. You know, not like the old days anymore. So yeah, I just couldn't have sex with everybody. So this isn't going to be the next best thing. I thought, well, you know, that's a pretty wise idea. Think about it. We all have emails. We should all have genital molds. I mean, it's just the great thing to do. I think I may have lost a couple people with genital molds. Yeah. Well, MOULDS. MOLDS. Sounds really nasty. It's always funny to find out why people turn me off. The very first episode, my friend Chris Gorgeous couldn't make it past the fact that I didn't have a shirt on. He's like, yeah, dude, you might have been naked. And brother, I think I was. You're welcome. Then another friend of mine, Sherry, couldn't get past the Q-tips I did on one episode because I had an eargasm, and then I had another one. She was like, yeah, I kidding. I was like, you're lost, dude. You're lost. I mean, here's the thing. I love going through YouTube and pulling up all the random audio files of Alan Watts because he's just amazing. And he died like 2 years before I was born, I believe. And it's just hours and hours of random talks and all this other stuff. And I couldn't be more pleased to listen to this Gabby and Chatty Cathy, and then to think that I am leaving the same thing for someone. So years after I'm dead and gone, there will be somebody poking around the internet, and they'll stumble across my YouTube channel, and they'll go, oh my god, who's this irreverentellsworth? He had such an identity crisis. Yeah, look, he tried dreads once. God, that was such a stupid phase. They call that the dreaded phase. Yeah, whatever. I love my dreadlocks. You shut up. More and more people are like, this is not a good look for you. You should stop this. I'm like, well, shit, you won't be saying that when I'm famous. You'll just be like, I told him it was a beautiful hairstyle. It'll really set you apart. Yeah, what? They were like, this is not the right haircut for the 19th best speaker in the world. You know what? It was pretty good for the Area 54 contest winner yesterday. Booyah! Trophies, bitches! Trophies! Anyway, a couple of things I'd like to say before this video gets too long. I think I'm going to do a live blab tonight. I want to say around 9 o'clock. So get everybody in, get the din. Maybe 9 o'clock tonight, I'll do a blab. And we'll do a live thing. I'm trying to figure out what format we're going to take. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a bit of a variety show. I want to invite people on to the Words or Lies, open mic. Oh, that's what we'll do. We'll do open mic. Now, the format for Blab is this. You need a webcam, and you need a way to communicate audio. Now, I like to keep somewut quiet in my house, so I'll have headphones on with a little boom mic and everything. And I'll be position 1, so I'll start a room, and it'll be something like a Reverend Ellsworth Words or Lies open mic. But I'll post something on Twitter, and I'll post something on Facebook, and all around. And then at 9 o'clock, you'll be able to see me live. You'll be able to log into Blab. Now, the cool thing is you can actually click to join the room, and then you and I will be on screen together, and then people can still watch us. And we can do up to 4 people that everyone can watch at the same time, and then you can actually rotate those positions around. I'll be kind of the host for the discussion. It'll be fun. I do hope you join us now. From time to time, you'll get emphasis harmonica. Emphasis harmonica is when I say something very profound, like tonight we are going to have the very first meeting of Words or Lies Fellowship. I'm a Reverend Ellsworth. We might say something like, hey, you know, a lot of this, your donations to our ministry go to help out none other than Oasis Church. Woo! And Horse Rescue. That's a horse. I think it looks kind of like a horse. That's right. So be sure to send money via PayPal or Google Wallet to Ellsworth says at gmail.com. That's right. Please send money or PayPal or Bitcoins. Those are fun. Don't know how to use them yet. And Ellsworth says at gmail.com. Really appreciate your support and ongoing support and so forth. I will be working on that. I'm also working on a brand new art piece. I'm not sure if we're going to auction it off, give it to a lucky listener. Yes. Or maybe sell it so I can stop giving blowjobs to truckers. Now we're talking. Patient bee. Hashtag patient bee. Please spread it around. Because I think if there is one thing I want to be known for in my life, is that I encourage people to have patience. So often, every single day, I find myself yelling at me because I'm not doing something I think I should be doing. What sense does this make? Think about the last time you were on a job and you were feeling rushed and it was the end of the day and you had 4 more projects and you couldn't go home until these projects were done, and all your manager did was stand behind you and go, "Ellsworth, you are a worthless piece of shit. Work faster." And how well did that work? After your supervisor picked himself up off the floor after eating keyboard, great scene in Wanted, by the way, great scene, you'd walk out. So why do you think you're going to do any differently on a job when you're managing yourself so poorly? If you're having a rough day, you're having a rough day. Hey, Ellsworth, come here. Sit down. Sit down, buddy. I see you're having a rough day. It's okay. We all have them. We all have them here at Purvis Company. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. I was talking to Ellsworth the other day. Ellsworth, you know Ellsworth? Ellsworth? Yeah, Ellsworth. Listen, I was talking to Ellsworth here the other day, and he was having a bad day, and I was like, you know what, Ellsworth? I have bad days too. I do. And it's okay, buddy. Because you know what? You're going to get through this. You're going to get through this like I got through my rough day, like Ellsworth got through his rough day, and like that guy, we call him L. L got through his day too. You're going to get through your day. Just be patient. Be patient with yourself. And then you can be patient with other people. Yeah. You might have to wait. Might have to wait an extra minute. You might have to wait an extra 15 minutes at the drive-thru. But if you're patient, you're going to extend that patience to the world. I mean, think about it. I can give you $1 and tell you to hurry up. Or I can give you 5 minutes and keep my money. And then the next person that they come across that is taking too long to fulfill their order, they're going to go, "Hey, you know what? Take it easy. I know you've had a hard day. You're doing me a great service. I'm going to give you the courtesy of 5 minutes. 5 extra minutes Don't talk about a challenge. Don't talk about a meditation. Don't talk about paying it forward. You give someone 5 minutes of patience today, you will change their day. You will change your day. 5 minutes of patience. You will change the world. Join us tonight, 9 o'clock, for Irreverent Ellsworth's Open Mic. Anything goes. Come tell a joke. Come do a poem. I'm going to be recording the whole thing, so I'll be emceeing and hosting the whole shindig. Check out for information on Facebook and follow me through Twitter at Sean E. Purvis, ShawnEpurvis, and of course hashtag Irreverent Ellsworth everywhere you go. Patient be, my friends, patient be.